How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new landscape photography vlog. We are back in Letchworth State Park for the first time in a vlog, I think, in a long time. Honestly, can't remember the last time I filmed a vlog here, but I was here about a week and a half ago, the end of January, and the main reason I wanted to come out here was to visit the Waterfalls and to check out the absolute cathedral of ice that has been forming on these waterfalls for the past couple weeks, past month or so, with these unbelievably cold temperatures that we've been getting. I mean, wind chill a couple days ago was down in the negative 20s and 30s in some areas in western New York, and just in general it has been under the 20s for the past couple weeks. I think we had like a 10 or 12 day streak below the 20s, and as you can see, this is just one of many examples of the incredible ice formations that show up here in the winter time. They are really spectacular, and just a testament to the artistry of nature itself, and how these things form and the way that they form. But I've got the 600 on right now, and my main focus today is mainly just ice formations and nothing else. There's been a little bit of light coming through these clouds on and off. Kind of a softer light, nothing super harsh or direct, but a nice soft light. But the one thing I love about these ice formations in general is that they don't really need spectacular light to shine. I think it'll help some compositions, but I don't think that can be said about all the compositions here. And there are just so many compositions to be found. In fact, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but that big formation of ice down at the bottom there, when I was here a couple weeks ago, that was not here. I don't know if that chunk fell off the side, which I think is probably the most likely thing to occur, or if it's just newly formed with the incredibly frigid temperatures we've had. But it looks completely different than how it looked when I was here a couple weeks ago. Even over there's some really cool snow patterns up on that gorge wall, and in the back there's some smaller trees that are just completely coated in ice. And normally the trees up on that bank there get a nice coating if there were more spray, if it were coming off in this direction, but that's all wind dependent, obviously. But like I said, today's focus is super simple, and that helps me out a lot, just because when I have too many options available, I tend to just fumble the entire day in terms of photo. It's so much easier for me mentally if I just pick one thing and stick to it that whole day, instead of trying to do a whole bunch of things. And today, that thing is just ice formations on this waterfall and middle falls just down a ways. And we'll see what we can get. I think I've already got one decent image of this main waterfall here, but now I'm going to start kind of punch in with the 600 and see what we can pull from it. So I went ahead and climbed my way up a bit further to get a better view of the ice on the opposite gorge wall, and the views up here definitely do not disappoint. When you're standing back where I was, the ice on the opposite wall is kind of hidden just by perspective, but if you climb up the trail a little bit, it does open up a lot, and you can see all of that ice, which is normally hidden just because of where you're standing. I mean, look at that. I've already just been punching in with the 600 a little bit here and there, focusing on some interesting patterns, figures, details. Might go after some of that stuff there. It looks very scale-like. But over there's some ice formations that are coming down that look like hands, quite literally these hands just made of ice. And it's just gorgeous. And over there you can see where the water's coming down still. Some really nice colors, some like browns and deep blues and greens. I'm not sure what that's from, but it does look really fascinating. So I'm just spending some time here, really just trying to let my imagination run wild and see what sort of jumps out at me from all these beautiful ice formations. And again, you can see those trees on the other side that are just getting coated in ice. There's a little bit of soft light you can see kind of hitting that side of the bridge up there, so there's a little bit of soft ambient light hitting. It's not completely totally gray, but yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. Very glad that I came back out here today, and very excited to see what else we can get from the frigid landscape. There is actually a little waterfall right over there, but it is completely frozen over, so there is no water coming from it, at least that you can see on the surface at all. So don't think I'm going to bother too much with that. I might just head over there and peep it a little bit, but right now I'm content with this. And then afterwards, after I kind of exhaust myself here, I'm going to head back down to the Middle Falls, which similar situation here, but just new opportunities to see different formations, right? Because each waterfall is going to have its own unique set of icy goodness, if you will. So show you guys a couple images here, and just gonna enjoy it. It's pretty much about it. Just gonna sit here and enjoy the ambience and the sights and take some photos. I've been down here at Middle Falls for maybe 20-30 minutes now, and I gotta say the views here are just incredible. I hope you guys have been enjoying some of the b-roll that I've been shooting, but absolutely phenomenal ice features along here. Some of the colors in this ice, especially the blues, is just otherworldly. Not really sure what causes that, but it just looks absolutely incredible. But I've got the 24-200 on, but I'm about to put the 600 on because there's a lot more fine details that I like to focus in on, specifically across the gorge here. There's some branches of these trees that are just frost covered and they look immaculate, as well as some really nice wavy, kind of like psychedelic looking ice features down on the bottom wall that the 200 is just not reaching far enough to get. And if you look over there, see there is some nice light hitting on the gorge wall as the sun is very close to setting, but that over there is what I was talking about with the ice covered branches. You can see the falls in action there, and those are the features down there. As you can see, they're really wavy and there's just layers to them. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. So I've made my way back around to the back side of the falls where you can actually see the crest of the waterfall right here. So I could start working on capturing some photos of the wall opposite the waterfall as opposed to just the waterfall itself. Last time I was here, I really only focused on this wall, but today I wanted to make it a point to actually try to hit the waterfall side itself. And the one reason I really wanted to come here today with urgency is because tomorrow's supposed to be in the 40s and it's going to rain, and I have to imagine some of this ice is going to deteriorate or fall into the gorge, so I want to take advantage of this last really cold day before we get a little warm spell, a bit of a heat wave, I guess you could call it that at this point here in Western New York. But I wanted to film here mainly because I am working on a little scene right here, and I'm mainly focusing in on way over there in the corner where the wall kind of comes out to an end. All the icicles kind of draping off of that, and you can see these really cool, like, just looks like melted metal. This is really the only way I can describe it. That's just kind of like poured itself over the rock and solidified, and with this really nice reflected light we have, I would say just about post-sunset here, it's casting this really nice soft glow onto the scene, and I just really like it. Something about the movement, and I love how I describe it as solidified molten metal, but it's just liquid water solidified. They kind of go one and the same, I guess. I don't know. Weird analogy. My brain is kind of icing up a little bit because how cold it is. But I gotta say, I'm very happy with a lot of the images I've gotten today. Very, very excited to have come back here. I'm very happy with myself for doing so. And seeing a lot of people running around with cameras here, which is not surprising. This is probably one of the most photographed places in Western New York. I mean, specifically the area that I'm in. And obviously, you know, you can see why. All times of the year, no matter what the temperature is. And the other thing I wanted to bring this up, this is like a potential talking point I had for my ebook that I'm working on, my new project. I always see in social media posts, and I know that's not end-all be-all when it comes to how people think, but specifically for this place, I always see people saying online that, you know, Letchworth is even beautiful, or is beautiful even when it's this cold, right? As if it being cold, and I've seen this in so many different instances, when it's cold outside, it kind of like denotes that things can't be beautiful, I guess, because of the temperature, which I think is totally asinine. And I think the images I've gathered this year and over the past last year kind of proves my point. It is, like I said, one of the main talking points, at least one of the things that I'll touch on in that ebook project. You know, so I just thought that was a funny little observation. Yeah, and that reflected light is looking really nice, and there's some really nice blue ice that is kind of just spilled and just washing itself over that white snow down there. It just looks really cool. Especially, I get an all-white background by keeping out the open sections of the river. And you can see there they actually do have a light on that will illuminate the falls. Which does look really cool, honestly, at night. I did take a few pictures last year here of the falls illuminated. And it looked really awesome with some black and white photos. Really, really cool stuff, but don't think I'm going to go for that this year. And there also was a huge ice cave in front of the waterfall, this waterfall last year, that I don't see this year, unfortunately, and I don't think we'll get it. It's probably just random chance and, you know, where the ice starts to accumulate, whether or not we'll get something like that. So I'm going to take a few more photos here. I think my camera's about to die. The battery's red. And then I'm going to make my way back to the truck, finish my snack, and head on home. So we are all done shooting for the day. At least I'm 99% sure. I'm warm pretty much everywhere except for my feet, which are getting a little too cold for my liking. Probably should have put on a second pair of socks. and wore my other boots, but we're gonna remedy that by getting in the truck and heating it up. So, but overall, very happy with how this outing has gone. I think I talked earlier about, you know, how today's goals are very simple and how that helps kind of mentally to go into the shoot and throughout it. But I think I've talked about this before, but one of the biggest issues that I face in photography is indecisiveness, not knowing what to do, constantly going back and forth between ideas and where to spend time. So having one direct focus, very simple focus on a day like today, just makes everything go a lot smoother. I take more time and hopefully, you know, end up with better images as a result. I just wish more shoots could go like today, because indecisiveness sucks, and it has definitely botched a lot of outings, more than I'd like to admit. Back in the truck, gonna try to warm up now and make my way back home. But yeah, great shoot. Hope you guys enjoyed the vlog itself, the images. Reminder to check out my social medias, Facebook, Instagram, my website, all that stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you have not already. And I'll see you guys around.